So first what we need to do is you have to come and check what is your deadlines. When is the deadline? Tomorrow it is there. So today now I'm asking to create a GitHub project. So I'm coming here and wait a minute. Okay. So first I'll create one repository. Now I'm going to create a plugin. Okay. The repository name should be Ambee. Okay. Simple Ambee API data source. I'll keep it private, public. Add readme. Choose okay. And then create repository. I'll ignore. I don't want to create repository. So now you can see it is Ambee like this. It's there. Okay. Now let's copy this and come to our terminal. Let's keep this project in the desktop. So git clone, paste that link. Ambee is already okay. Let's try somewhere. Let me go inside somewhere like somewhere I'm going. Git clone Ambee. Now what I can see is in the document I have Ambee for Ambee. Inside I can Ambee. Okay. I can see only one file is there. Now I need couple of things to do. I'm building a package. So first I need to have a main.go file. Now if I see main.go, now I need to have another package mkdir. Let's keep it like Ambee. All our source code, everything. Let this package be called Ambee inside this. Okay, then I'm going to the Ambee. I'm creating one file ambee.go. Okay, now coming back to the, now if I see I can see one file is there, one readme file is there, one Ambee. Let's go inside the directory and see it. Documents, you can see Ambee. Okay, that readme file which got downloaded, what we created, main.go ambee. Okay, now we need to, now we have already created a repository, right? For this, if I say git status, it is, so I will do is git, I'll put git add, because all this file they need to track. Git commit, I want to put a first commit, initial commit. Now if I do in git status, I can see, okay, if I just go into git push, you can see in the server, if I come and refresh, that folder is created, that file is created. Now what I need to do is, let's convert this into a Go plugin. So go mod init github.com. You remember that it's github.com, the same thing. Copy this and put it here. Now module is created. Now go mod tidy. Okay, now let's start developing. First thing is, I'm opening this and let me bring that folder. That is, go to desktop, Ambee. Yeah, here it is. Open it. Now the entire code gets open. Yeah, I trust this. You can see this. Main.go. Now mod also is created. In mod it's there where it is. Okay. Now let's come to here. We have done this. I have done this also, creating an Ambee plugin also. Two things I have accomplished today. Right? Now what I need to do is, I need to start. So package main. Okay. Then main. Let's test it. fmt println hello world, save it. Now I can go to this terminal. Now here I go run main.go. But so let's start writing the package at this moment. Package is inside this, right? Ambee.go. Right? Are you able to see this? Now, what is the package name? Ambee. So this package is having a couple of things. Let's first create a function, which is nothing but a request function, which will take a URL, which is a string. Then next a method, which is also a string. Then we need headers, right? Which also can be passed rather than empty. So headers can be HTTP header. This is the structure, okay? Then I can return an error. I want to return empty byte. Next an error. I'm creating a reusable function. So now URL you are taking, you can pass it, everything is fine, request object is fine. Huh? And you can see request, okay. Now let's start writing the main code. First I need a client, right? This client can be created using HTTP client, empty client. After creating client, let's create a new request object, which will be using HTTP new request. Okay, the first one we should pass the method. Next the URL, whatever we are getting. Next one is a nil, right? If there is an error, what we can do is log.println that error. Same time return that also, because always this error should be received to the function which is calling it. So what we'll put is, we'll put a nil, first one, second one we'll pass the error. Now save it, you can see. Now if nothing is there, now let's start. In the request object, I need to have the header. That is nothing but whatever we got it as headers. So let's put it like create request headers. This one is for create new request structure. This was create a client to call the request. Client only will call the request. Request will not, because okay. Now after this, most of things are done. Now what we need to do is, we need to use this client to call this request. So client dot do, which will nothing do, it will directly go and take that request, and it will return a response and an error. Okay, if there is an error, nil, then log that error, right? If there is no, return that first one should be a nil and an error. Now we got a response, perfectly we got a response. Now this response should be converted into bytes, right? So we know how to convert the bytes. So it's like data error, we use IO util dot read all, and we pass this response dot body. Now if there is an error, nil log print ln error, return nil with the error. Now we have the data. So anyway, if there is no error, return that data and error should be nil. Now what happened? We have created a new client, which is reusable. Anytime we can reuse it. Anywhere, any kind of request you can reuse this. Got my point? So this is a module for reuse, for calling any API, passing their URL, their header, and their method. I can use anything for anything. Now I have done this. I'll come to the Asana. I have created a client. Great. This is also completed. Now, when you complete the project manager point, they can easily see what's happening behind the scene. So we have created this. Okay. Now Ambee is fine. Now we can do is let's go down. Then we can see it's good, pretty much good. I can keep all basically structure is whatever for everything we are creating structure. എല്ലാത്തിനും structure create പണ്ട. So we can keep it in one file all structures and call that file, or let's keep everything as separate. So അപ്പോൾ ഈ Ambee ഉള്ളിൽ what I can do is I can say okay, I can put for air quality dot go one file, and for what is the next one?
Weather.
So for the weather I can put one.
Sorry.
For soil I can put one. And next one is
Fire.
for the fire also I can put one. But as all these things are in an Ambee package, it should be called as package Ambee only. But if you are putting inside a folder called fire, then that is a fire package. Or what weather no folder, everything should be the respective. So as this at this moment, let's focus on the one problem, that is fetch the quality, air quality. So I am coming here, package Ambee. Okay, now let's write the function. Let's type structure. That is like I want to type a function, or I can directly go and write a function, right? Or attaching it. So basically Ambee is taking, if I'm passing it, then I can get, okay. So I'm putting a type as air, okay. It's a struct. Or yeah, it's a struct. So basically even I can directly call them because I'm calling the APIs only, you know? So I can yeah, I can expand Ambee itself. So currently if I'm going Ambee not request, it will do the request for me. Okay, let's see. Let's write first in a functional way, and then let's convert that. Okay, so till now everything is fine. Now I need to write a function. Okay, this function should be called as air quality, which will take an URL. URL is not needed because we air quality we will already define that. We only need the country. Okay, and it should return let's see what we'll return. Now I want to call the request. I have the URL. What is the URL? I can go to Ambee. It's Ambee I'm going country wise. This URL I'm copying, and I'm passing it here as a string. But the problem now is you can see this IN needs to be always changed, right? So anyway, this country, so for that I can create this URL using another method called fmt sprintf, and I'll paste this, and wherever this IN is there I'll put %v. Next parameter will be that country. It's fine. Now I want to get the response and the error from the Ambee dot request. So URL I'm passing, method is get, two things, and headers. I need headers, so I can even, or inside the request itself I can set up a header, or like fine, let's pretty much focus on it's important. So this headers is nothing but it's a map of HTTP header. So it should be like x API key, which should be like a string of my HTTP key, where it is. Copy this and I'm putting here. Is it fine? Then content type also. You have to correctly paste it. Can you see this? This much gaps and all should not come. This is fine. And then I need content type. which is, what is that? Content type should be
String application.
content T is caps. Content type should be like a string of
Application. JS.
it's capital
Small
application
letters.
slash
Small ones.
okay application JSON. Okay. Now you have created headers. Now pass this headers here. Okay. Now we get a response. So if error not equal to nil, then do one thing: log that particular response as error and return what I'm supposed to return. I'm supposed to return a structure. So at this moment I have to return a structure or a, so first thing is error I have to return. If nothing is a nil error. Okay, if I get a response, which will be already, now I need a structure for this, right? So I come and create a structure. Type station structure, which will be having basically an ID, which is nothing but a string. It's like JSON ID. The next one is place ID, which directly I can put as string. Then CO float 64. Next one is no2. This is also float 64. For little more easy understanding for the parser, I am actually putting what is the name in that. So CO JSON NO2 and close it. Now I have one structure. I want stations, which is nothing but list of
Station.
station. Now I want totally, it's like a totally different, it's a response struct, which can be a message, which is a string, and a stations can be stations. Now when I get this response, I take this response, already it's converted to IO util. Now I can directly where response can be response. Now when an error will be there when I do JSON dot unmarshal, where I'm giving the response and the no, this is not, this can be like response data. So this can be data, this can be response, or this can be like stations. I can put it like this for easy understanding. So this can be stations, which should be put it into response data. Now if error is nil, log and it should return a nil, keep it like nil, and okay. Now it's all fine, right? Now I want only response should be, I want return, I don't want that message, I just want the stations. So I can get the data from this response data dot stations. Next error is nil. Now I can come to this point and put, what is the return type I am getting? Stations. I'm not getting response, I'm taking specifically. Then second one is an error. Now refresh it. Now you can see undeclared, Ambee is undeclared. I can directly use this request. Now what I can do is I can go to this main. I can even run once go mod tidy. Nothing wrong. I can come to main.go. Then I want to take that Ambee dot air quality and and the country I'm passing is IN, and variable I'm going to save is temporary anything or stations. Okay, Now I got this. India, country name.
Country.
fmt.println stations. I'm getting it, I'm saving it. Hopefully, nothing should go wrong at this moment. Ambee, from that, I'm taking it. See, it's detecting also correctly. Can't mention one with the two variables. Okay, two variables. It returns one more error also. So if there is an error, in that error, whatever is there, I don't want to stop the error there itself. I want to bring it here. I know return error. So log.println that error. If it is not there, get the stations. Okay. Now let's run the code and see. Its status. You can see a lot of changes I've done. So go run main.go package found EOF. So fire.11 എല്ലാത്തിലും we have to put Ambee. Okay, കാരണം നമ്മളത് അങ്ങനെ വെക്കാൻ പാടില്ല, empty ആയിട്ട് വെക്കാൻ പാടില്ല, else it will be considered as a new file, empty file. Air quality, this package Ambee, so fire. Okay, that's why end of line. Hello world എടുത്ത് കളഞ്ഞു. You know what is this? This hello world is not needed, right? I bought all this data. Now I can directly do something like I want to print all the stations, so it can be for station range over stations, which can be fmt print ln station dot co level station dot id. Now if I come here and I do git go run main.go, it's not printing, so fmt.println it should print stations. Why it's not printing? Let's log it and see. No, it should not be like that. Let's print our response and see. Ambee dot print then stations. Empty. Nothing is returning. What can be the reason? Network. Allala, stations should print, no? Let's see. Now it came now initially. Log chimbo station air quality index. If error is not there, log print the stations. It's returning null. Let's undo this and go some changes we have done. Let's try that. If error not equal to, maybe I think we have run out of critics. Let me take it and send the same request in Thunder client. Let's see. Thunder client country code under header is there. If I send a request, quota exceeded for the day. So more than 100 that's it. It's working. Absolutely it's working. It will work. So this code if I'm putting for, you understood?
Yes.
It will not send because 100 requests I've already done. So this can be station and that rangeovers stations, and this will be empty println station dot co station dot id station dot place id station dot no2. This will work. Now ultimately you can see I have created an Ambee module which is reusable. Same time I have done air quality. I went through it, I corrected it. Even I can optimize it, but fine. Now I'll come here every day, then I'll say get status. Then I'll do a git add, get status, git commit. This added air quality audio. Then I'll do git push. I'll come to my Asana. I'll just click this. I'll select this. Then this tomorrow I will teach. I'll come, click this, and if I go to GitHub, Ambee plugin, refresh it. If I go to Ambee, it will see ambee.go, the code which I wrote, and Ambee one Nokumo. We can see that air quality. The code is pushed. Now I'll come here and I'll log out.